You know what creeps me out more than a meteor? People who bite their nails like popcorn during a horror movie. Seriously, you think you're easing anxiety, but in reality, you're signing a lifelong contract with a germ colony. Number 9. Nail biting. A free bacteria delivery service. Think about it. Your nails touch everything. Public restroom door handles, that phone screen you never clean, that keyboard that's basically a virus breeding ground. And then you, a true immunity genius, decide to deliver that microorganism collection straight to your mouth. That's not a habit. That's biological warfare against yourself. Imagine your nails as tiny dirt vacuums, and every bite is like making out with the subway floor. Classy, right? And your teeth? Not built to be nail clippers. Dentists in the US can spot a nail biter just by looking at their dental arch. Those front teeth, getting filed down like pool cues. The result? Chips, cracks and teeth that shift like furniture during a bad move. To make it worse, bitten nails end up with sharp edges that jab your gums, cause tiny cuts, and, bam, open door for infections to waltz into your bloodstream like they RSVP'd. Ever heard of paronychia? No. It's a nasty, painful inflammation at the base of your nail that, if you're lucky, might just send you to the ER with a hand that looks like a balloon filled with pus. Romantic. And all this because your brain links anxiety to the dumb habit of sticking your fingers in your mouth. It's such a self-sabotaging cycle, even Freud would be exhausted just trying to explain it. My dinosaur advice? Get a stress ball or chew on ice, I don't care. Just stop turning your hand into a bus terminal for bacteria. Number 8. Holding in a sneeze. The dumbest way to be polite and almost die. Some folks think holding in a sneeze is good manners. Like, oh, I don't want to disturb anyone in the elevator. The only label you should be thinking about is the hospital wristband with your name on it. Listen, a sneeze can clock in at 100 mPh. That's basically a hurricane shooting out of your nose. And you, in your infinite wisdom, decide to block that windstorm by pinching your nose and keeping your mouth shut. What happens? Internal pressure. It's like trapping an explosion inside a balloon. Someone's going to get hurt. Some people have burst eardrums doing this. Others popped blood vessels in their eyes and ended up looking like they lost a boxing match with Mike Tyson. One guy even fractured a facial bone. Another developed subcutaneous emphysema. Yes, that means air trapped between the skin and neck muscles. You become a human balloon, a blow-up doll version of idiot who didn't want to sneeze in public. And all because you didn't want to seem impolite. If you're in a quiet place, grab a tissue, turn discreetly, and let the storm out. Better a proper sneeze than an early obituary from a throat rupture. My Jurassic advice? Sneeze with class, but sneeze. The only time holding your breath works is underwater, and you're not a fish. Number 7. Q-tips in your ears. The magic wand that destroys your hearing. You think cleaning your ears with Q-tips is self-care. Let me tell you, it's like trying to wash a car with used toilet paper. It only makes things worse. Q-tips seem harmless, white, soft. But inside, they're the auditory equivalent of a live grenade. What they actually do is push the wax deeper into your ear canal. It's like sweeping dirt under the rug, except the rug is your eardrum. Nature already had this handled. Your ears have a built-in cleaning system like a baggage conveyor belt at the airport. Wax gets expelled naturally, and it's there for a reason, protection. It blocks dust, germs, even insects. Yep, insects. Want all that heading straight into your brain? Then stop shoving cotton swabs where they don't belong. Want more excitement? That Q-tip tip can puncture your eardrum. A paper-thin membrane, more fragile than a life coach's ego. One sneeze, one slip, or one shaky hand in front of the mirror, and boom, pain, partial deafness, and a one-way trip to the ER. All because you wanted to clean your ears. Oh, and the friction from the Q-tip can also cause microcuts. And guess what? Infection. T-Rex's advice, just wash the outer ear with a damp towel. Leave Q-tips for makeup crafts, or cleaning your keyboard. In your ear? Absolutely not. Number 6. Drinking too much water, the healthy way to almost kill yourself. Look, I get it. The water bottle is now a fashion statement. Some people won't leave home without their emotional support bottle, that thermos the size of a fire extinguisher. But drinking water like you're training to be a whale won't make you healthier. It'll make you dizzy, confused, and with luck, alive. There's a name for this: hyponatremia. It happens when you drink so much water that it dilutes the sodium in your blood. The result? Your cells start to swell, including brain cells. And guess what your brain lives in? A hard shell called a skull. Translation: pressure, pain, seizures, and in some cases, game over. A 9-year-old girl in the US almost died because her parents punished her by making her drink liters of water. Sounds like 17th century torture, but it happened last month. And marathon runners think they need to turn into camels. But they chug so much water the body short-circuits. Staying hydrated matters, but overhydrating is toxic. Want a number? The human body flushes out about 1 liter of water per hour. Start chugging 2 or 3 liters at once, and your kidneys panic. Your brain swells like a balloon, minus the fun. Tip from the T-Rex, who didn't even drink sports drinks: drink water when you're thirsty. Thirst is your body's natural alarm. Ignoring it is like disabling the smoke detector because the noise bothers you. Number 5. Headphones. How to lose your hearing in style. Headphones, faithful companions, found in every pocket, backpack, and ear on the planet. You put them on, crank up the volume, and feel productive, focused, modern. But what's really happening is a stereo-style auditory massacre. Inside your ear is a structure called the cochlea. It's home to thousands of sensory cells that look like tiny hairs. They convert sound into electrical signals. But unlike your hair, these don't grow back. Damage them? Game over. Permanent hearing loss. Want a comparison? Max volume on headphones can hit over 105 decibels. That's the sound equivalent of a chainsaw screaming in your ear. And get this, just 15 minutes at that volume can cause irreversible damage. It's more effective than mowing the lawn with a grenade. You say, but it doesn't hurt. Of course not. Hearing loss is sneaky. By the time you notice, you're already asking what, even to your houseplants. Ringing in your ears, trouble understanding speech in noisy places. Welcome to the club. And the worst part? Young people top the list. In the US, an entire generation is already showing signs of early hearing loss. All because of an innocent habit that turned into full-volume musical torture. Message from your sharp-eared dino: use volume-limiting headphones. Listen like a human, not like it's the zombie apocalypse. Because hearing aids don't fix anything. They just turn your stupidity up to 11. Number 4. Sleeping with the light on. The nighttime sabotage disguised as comfort. You think leaving the hallway light on at night will protect you from monsters. Maybe. But it's also opening the door for the real ones: insomnia, anxiety, weight gain, and the mood of a sick rhinoceros. Here's the truth. Your body produces melatonin when it senses darkness. That's the sleep hormone, responsible for regulating your biological clock. But when you sleep with any light on, and yes, even that tiny blue LED on your charger counts, melatonin production drops like the stock market on crisis day. So now your body has no idea if it should sleep, wake up, or call for help. A study on rats showed that even soft lighting at night made them gain weight. They ate the same food and did the same activities. The only difference? The light. Yep, you might be turning into an anxious rodent just because you leave your nightlight on. And there's more. Without melatonin, your insulin sensitivity crashes. You wake up irritable, hungry, and ready to punch the alarm clock, which, by the way, is another bright light in your face. Advice from your ancient lizard friend: turn your room into a black hole. Close the curtains, turn off all lights, cover LEDs. If needed, wear a sleep mask. or accept looking like someone who hasn't slept since 2014. Number 3. Sitting for hours. The new cigarette, but with armrests. If sitting were as harmless as it seems, prehistoric hunters would have just chilled on stone couches watching Netflix. But they didn't. They moved, constantly. And us? We're frozen like store mannequins, sitting in cars, at work, on the couch. The only thing that changes is where we park our butt. Truth is, the human body wasn't made to be still. When you sit too long, blood flow slows, muscles shut down, metabolism hits the brakes, and risks skyrocket. Clots, pain, fat buildup, even sudden death in extreme cases. Think of your body as a river. Sitting turns it into a dam. What happens to stagnant water? Mosquitoes. What happens to stagnant blood? Trouble. Want a stat? Adults in the US spend an average of 15 hours a day sitting. That's the same amount of time a corpse lies still. And at least the corpse doesn't have lower back pain. Plus, the infamous depressed turtle posture kicks in. Hunched shoulders, forward neck, belly out. It's like senior citizen cosplay at 30. My fossilized advice: stand up. Walk every 30 minutes. If possible, work standing once in a while. Or just go ahead and reserve a recliner at the morgue, because that's where this sitting habit is heading. Number 2, sleeping on your stomach. The comfortable way to wreck your spine. Some folks say they can only sleep on their stomach, and I say, congrats, you found the perfect position to become a lifelong physical therapy client. Sleeping face down is comfy, right up until you wake up with a stiff neck and a numb arm like you napped on a power line. Here's the deal, when you lie on your stomach, your neck turns to one side and stays there for hours. That twists your cervical spine, compresses nerves, and ruins your natural spinal curve. That feeling your body's out of whack? It is. Imagine sleeping with your head turned for 8 hours. That's basically doing yoga with your neck while dreaming. Not restful, just Zen torture. The result? Tingling in your hands, numbness, back pain, stiff neck. Keep it up, and it turns into chronic pain. Your mattress becomes a memory foam trap. Can you make it better? Sure, use a very thin pillow and another under your hips to try aligning your spine. But it's like putting a band-aid on a sinkhole. It doesn't fix it. Advice from your vertebrate dinosaur: get used to sleeping on your side or back. Your future self, with a working spine, will thank you, and maybe even let you get out of bed without creaking like a rusty door. Number 1. Holding your pee. The ticking time bomb in your bladder. Ever found yourself squirming during a meeting and thought, I'll go later? Congrats. You've just entered the Bladder Endurance Challenge, hardcore mode. When you feel the urge, it's because your bladder's already at full capacity. And what do? You turn it into a desperate water balloon. Keep pushing it back like a bill, but the interest here is bacterial. Holding pee forces your bladder to stretch beyond its limits, repeatedly. Eventually, the muscles that are supposed to contract and release start failing. Result? Your bladder stops emptying fully. What's left becomes a bacterial spa. Think the worst-case scenario is your bladder exploding? Think again. Worse is when it doesn't explode but slowly fails. That leads to urinary tract infections, burning, pain, feeling like you still have to go. And to top it off, your pelvic floor muscles weaken. Translation? Urinary incontinence. Yep, you go from hero of resistance to adult in adult diapers in no time. All because you didn't want to leave the meeting. Straight from prehistoric times. If you feel the urge, go. No one will remember you stepping out for 3 minutes, but you'll definitely remember the burning. Or the catheter if you keep this up. See that? Small habits, big damage. Your routine seems harmless until you realize you're slowly self-destructing with politeness, comfort, and Q-tips. If any of these 9 points triggered a red flag, congrats. Your brain still works, and if you're still here with me, it means you either really care or have too much free time. Either way, hit that subscribe button because in the next video, I'm showing you healthy habits that actually just make you sick.